What's up, guys? This is Ride YT. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a basic trap tunnel and a few tips and tricks on storm shield defenses as well. Since a lot of you guys are brand new to the game, this is more of a beginner's guide. I can get into a more advanced guide as well, but let's get right into it. So this is your basic. You don't want it any wider than a 2 square unless you guys are doing kind of a tunnel into different things. But we're gonna start off with something like this, where you guys can either put it like this. If it's on a down slope like this, you guys do want to make it like this. That way smashers can come in without smashing that front piece right there. In some cases they will, some cases they won't. But this is your little box right here, and we're doing this in twine. See, this one doesn't have a down slope, so it doesn't matter if you have it that way. The old school way, back in the old days, this is how we had it, or the other way. Let me just put it the other way here. This is how we had it back in the old days. So that's the old school way. And actually, this thing you don't really need. It's more of being able to hide yourself, so you really don't need that thing. They're going to get hit either way. So these are going to be the walls that they're going to be running along. So we want to make sure that we push them back into our traps, which we're going to put right here. We're going to start off with this little thing, and we may put up some walls like that as well throughout here, but let's just start off with the basics. We want floor and roof. So the roof is pretty easy. The gas traps, the thing that's going to work the best, unless you have to go up a few stories. Gas traps will work 1, maybe 2 stories, but never more than that. So if you guys need more than 2 stories of a drop, you guys are going to want to use a different trap. But gas traps are the best for having something that's just right above head. So we're going to put some gas traps in here, nice and easy. Simple gas traps. We're going to go through and easily put down a floor trap that's going to slow them down. Floor launchers will not actually do any damage out here. I'm going to show you guys some different ways to do floor launchers right here. So what I'm basically doing right here is I'm going to put this out here and see where this bomb drops. Wherever this bomb drops, we cannot build. So we're going to make sure we know exactly where that drops. So floor launchers are more for a spot where it's going to be launching them into the sky. So we're going to put some floor launchers out right here at least. We're going to put some broadsides, because broadsides will stretch a pretty decent amount, and I don't think they spawn too far out there. If they do, the next best thing, if they spawn really far out there, and it may even be probably about the same to do broadsides in this situation as wall darts. I don't have a whole lot of wall darts, so I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of wall darts right here. And in fact, they won't spawn over there, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put some broadsides, and I'm going to do the ones with the damage, because there may be some with crit, and the crit ones are going to be ones that you're going to do in a different situation, which I'm going to show you guys here pretty soon. But we want to do these ones with damage on them right here. And those damage ones will stretch and put in loads of damage. Alright, so that thing is not falling yet. I'm just going to put one more right there. I'm pretty sure it's going to take those 4 squares out. Let's go back in here, and like I said, for the floor traps in here, we're going to want some wall spike or floor spikes. I'm going to put the God roll ones that I have down. And it doesn't matter if you put the wall launchers on this side or that side, but you want to make sure that you have the opening on the side that you have the wall launchers. So now we're going to put some wall launchers down. Let's put these God roll 130 ones down here. Okay, everything's pretty well set up. So now back in this corner, there's a couple of different ways to do this. So I was telling you guys about the crit, and there's a different way to build these broadsides, and that's with the crit build. But crit, it only crits when you bounce the broadsides off of something. So if the broadsides are side to side like this, that's when you want it to have crit. When it's more than 1 square and it's bouncing off something further, then you want to put these damage ones down, which I don't really have any crit ones. And we have a few things that we're going to want to do to this tunnel. So right now this is what we're going to do is we're going to build this first base, and then the rest of it is going to be the exact same as this first one. So I'm just going to show you this first one, and I'm going to show you guys a different kind of tunnel. So in this first one, we want something that's going to slow it down, so maybe you can get a second effect onto the zombies, or you want something that's going to be a major damage build. The best of both worlds are going to be putting some wall lights on right here. And in fact, what you could do is you could have some holes right here and put another broadside down. Now if you put a broadside with a different build, it will not go off at the same time. You want to do this because if they go off at the same time, they're not going to stack on damage. Most traps will not stack on damage, and if you do a broadside in between here, what's going to happen? See, I don't really have any other really good ones, but this one is a little bit. See, the reload is what you want different. This one doesn't have that reload perk. So I'm going to put this one down over here. I should have put the Godra ones side to side. So I'm going to put that down over here, down over here. We're going to put the damage one down over here so they load up differently. Now the reason this is right here is so that these, at least some of them, will go through and damage once they're in this box right here. And now you can still put these wall lights on in between here. This is a really good basic trap tunnel. It'll help you guys get the most damage out of a short area. Really only need, in most missions, like 2, maybe 3 of these. 4 of them is pretty overkill, which is what we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come back and do these other ones. While we're doing this, I'm going to come back up here and see if this bomb has blown up. Looks like it's going to take all of that out, but that's okay. We're going to build this up now. We could even put some either wall darts or broadsides up against this. We haven't done any wall darts yet, so we'll do some wall darts, and that'll cover 6 squares ahead of it, which is going to be a good. Now we could put some wall darts right here as well if you really want to overkill this thing. You could put some wall darts right here coming into this thing if you guys really want to overkill this thing. You guys could put maybe some broadsides, wall darts. There's a few different things you put on this corner that are going to stretch this corner right here, since they are going to be coming in pretty tight up against that corner. This thing will only shock up to 1 square, so they're only going to be coming in on that corner. In fact, we can make it so they drop down on that corner by putting this here, so they don't walk down and then miss that thing entirely. If you put this here, then they're going to drop down and they're going to get hit by that. Now while we have this here, we might as well put something here to either stun them, slow them down, and the next thing is going to be our broadside. Alright, so honestly this is extremely overkill. You don't need to do this much. This is just, there's different levels to trap, and this is going to be one of the extra things. If you guys have tons and tons and tons of traps, it's going to be one of the extra things that you guys do. Now if you guys are building a twine base, I would recommend that you guys don't build it any traps, or don't put any traps on until you guys have built your tunnels. So build your tunnels how you guys want them, and then put the traps on them. Put the traps on them afterwards, because you can build up to max build and then trap it up and it'll go over your max build, if that makes sense. So just having this end piece right here, it's going to make the zombies kind of walk along this side. So just having one end piece is really all you guys need. So we're going to have that one end piece right there, and it also kind of hides you from the very end right here. So this is going to be a direction that they don't come from very often, so we're not going to be putting a major trap tunnel in here. In fact, I'm going to show you guys one of the easy ways to make like kind of a trap. In fact, we're going to make it go this way. You can make it go either way. This is more of like, I don't know what you would call this, trap cage? I don't know. Let me break this thing, get this thing out of the way. We're going to do the same basic setup, the 2 wide. We're going to have some roofs. Here we go. This is going to be one that you use less traps, and like I said, there's different tiers to this thing, so maybe you'll end up using the same amount of traps depending on how far you take this thing. So I'm just going to use these blue roll ones because it doesn't really matter. This is a direction that they may not even come from, but I want to have it semi set up in case they do come from here. So once again, a good thing we could do over here is throw up the same thing. Now this is a whole different level, and we could maybe for this first one right here. See, I can't set anything on that, but we could blow this through and then also stun them. So I'm going to put it just on this first one right here. This would be another thing you guys could do if you guys don't have those god rolled, is just put this down right here and put some of these wall dinos on it. And that way these traps push on over. You guys could open this up. It might split them up. With this one it may not. So in fact, it's more of like if they destroy this, let's say you have someone that has edits or whatever and they throw a bomb, it's going to blow up all this, but you'll still have these traps kind of as a backup that will still work even though it's not completely destroyed on that side. I'm not sure exactly what I was going with that, but this whole side will work if it blows up. We're gonna throw some ceiling gas traps. This is something that we don't have to do. We could just set this up with a one tunnel too, so you could just set it up like this and just have one tunnel. But having it set up like this, if a bomb does go off, you're still gonna have this side as kind of a backup. And two, this one you'd have to stretch a little bit longer. Like I said, the other one you can do in a shorter space. So if you only have like 2 or 3 spaces, that's where the other one's gonna come in hand. When you have this long stretch, you guys can do something like this, and this will probably put in the same amount of damage in double the amount of spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna put in the same amount as maybe like 2.5 to 3 of those, depending on if you guys also put this middle stuff. If you guys put this middle stuff, it does do a little bit more than that, I would say. So we're gonna upgrade this a little bit. Alright, now we're going to do kind of like a stepping ramp one, and for that we're going to have to come back to the beginning. So I'm going to kill myself here real quick. This will be one that you guys will see a lot more in Twine, or if you guys are in a mission and you guys need to make one around a ramp area. This is one that you'll probably learn right off the bat. That's why I saved this one for the last right here. But it's kind of like this. This is where it ramps up. There's a flat spot. Or, I'll show you guys another way to build this one. Right here. You could ramp it up right here. And also hit them off the edge. If you wanted to, this is another way to do this. And throw these things on right here. Whenever there's a ledge, it makes things extremely easy. And all you guys have to do for that is put some floor launchers down. Easy. And we're going to put some wall launchers down. We want to upgrade this. We want to put some wall things because they will come and just hit it from the side for no reason over here. Alright, so we're going to keep that right there because we are going to put some wall dynamites on them. So let's put some wall dynamites here, here. We want to put a little bit of damage in there. Maybe one here, here. We could either leave this or we could put some wall dynamites on this as well. We want to make it so that anything that's coming up just to hit this right here gets hit. And I could leave this here too because it will split up the zombies. It's not... Oh, it's good to have 2 routes. It's better to have 2 than 1. But this is an easy off the edge. It'll push them out. You don't actually have to do any of these wall dynamites or anything like that, because this is more of one that's going to be, let's get all these floor and everything's all just pretty much backed up here. And you could, if you wanted to, like I said, there's levels. You could put something underneath here that'll, it won't hit a whole lot of them, but maybe floor freeze traps. This area effect of floor freeze traps might be a little bit bigger. You could do something for DPS. Let's go with the freeze traps. So you're gonna put that thing down. Maybe even try one of these wall spikes. I'm not sure if that actually works. That's basically the most used types of trap tunnels, guys. So hopefully that helps a lot of you guys out, at least the beginner guys. And there's a lot of different things you guys can do. There's a lot of crazy ones out there. I would look at a couple of the. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.